Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, in today's episode, we are focusing on American Express membership reward points. Specifically, everyone tells you they're so valuable, but how exactly do you redeem them? What are your options? And better yet, what are the pitfalls you should look to avoid? So that's what we're covering today. So if that sounds interesting to you, of course, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, the first thing here, the majority of this video is going to be spent at the computer walking through Amex Site together to redeem these points. However, there's some ground rules to establish first. So sometimes with issuers, the word points and cashback is interchangeable. Chase is a prime example. The Chase Freedom line, the Ink line, the Sapphire line, they all earn ultimate reward points, and then you can end up cashing them out or using them as points if you want. With American Express, it's a little bit different. So American Express has membership reward point earning cards. So the green, the gold, and the platinum are going to be your marquee cards. And they also have cashback cards. So like the blue cash preferred card, it's got cash in the name. These currencies are not interchangeable. Your card either earns MR points or it earns cashback, but it cannot be switched. Now, the business cards, the business platinum, business gold also earn membership reward points. And of course, you have co-branded cards like Hilton and Delta, but those are separate because those are going to earn Sky Miles, and those Sky Miles, for example, will just be deposited into your Delta account automatically. You don't have to take any action. So that's first. Now, number two, again, we're going to go over the options in a second, but Amex gives you a ton of options to redeem for, but not all options are created equally. When you're talking about these membership reward points, they're really focused to folks who want to travel. And specific transfer partners is the act of taking your points, from the issuer and moving them over to an airline or hotel that company partners with. You can do the Amex Travel Portal as well, but then they also throw in some options that are going to be like, hey, statement credits or things like that, and you're going to take a massive haircut as you're going to see, because again, Amex doesn't really want you to cash these out. Now, along those lines, the other thing to note is that no matter what you do, redemption or transfer partner, is that once your points are sent, they're sent. This gets more important when you talk about transfer partners, because if you want to transfer points to Delta or Marriott or whatever, you got to check that the dates you want to use them are available. There's no blackout dates or what have you. You can get your booking because you can't send them back. Also, a little bit out of scope for this, but sometimes people like to leave their points with the issuer because it can protect from points devaluations. If you were to send all your points to Hilton, then Hilton changes their points program. Well, you're kind of stuck because you can't get those points back. But if you keep the points with Amex and then Hilton changes it, well, then you can send them somewhere else. So that's just something to keep in mind as we go. Also, all your membership reward points are going to be pooled into one bucket, which is helpful. You don't have to transfer them or combine them from multiple cards, so that's helpful, but you'll see all that in a second. So that's kind of the ground rules for membership reward point cards, so we can only get so far talking about it. So let's flip the script, take a look at this together, then we'll bring it back here to close this one out. Alright guys, so here we are on the Amex site here, just logging in like you normally would. Should look pretty familiar now. Up here, of course, you can see all your cards. So when you're talking about membership reward cards, it doesn't necessarily matter which one you're in, just for redemption. So because they pool all your MR points together, which is nice. Now, if you wanted to redeem something specific to, let's say, the platinum card, like the airline credit, the hotel credit, then you would need to select the platinum card. But for this tutorial, it doesn't really matter. So what you want to do is hit explore rewards. And I'll take this time to say, for whatever reason, Amex site moves very slow. Maybe it's just for me, but if you see us jumping around, I'm just cutting out loading times just to save everyone a little bit of hassle there. So as this starts to load in, you can see, hey, we end up on this landing page. Again, it's going to tell you how many points you have access to. Also tells you they have a deal going on right now. And then you can also go from this, drop down and transfer out points or redeem points, but actually I find it easier to simply scroll down to the bottom here, and I like this layout a little bit better. So you can see the options we have right here, kind of a toolbar style. Now, I like this because it tells you right there what the value is you're getting. 10,000 points is going to equal $60 for covering charges on your card. Now that's not good, but I like that they are upfront. They tell you. So generally, when points, you're looking at 1 cent per point. So 10,000 should equal $100. This is more like 0.6 cents a point. So I wouldn't recommend to do this, but if you wanted to do it, it's very straightforward. You just that checkbox and you'd hit redeem now, and it's going to tell you how many points you have available, what they're worth, and all that. So I wouldn't do it, but at least it's straightforward, and I do give them points, really telling you what the valuation is. But we don't want to do that. So if we come back over to pay with points at checkout, you can see it does get a little bit better. 10,000 points is up to $70. Now, up to does mean it's not guaranteed, so you're going to have to, again, just make sure, if you care, just to make sure, you are getting 0.7. But honestly, I still wouldn't even bother with this. But what this is going to do is basically kind of open up like a shopping portal, if you will. And really, I think this actually works in reverse too. So you can visit Best Buy and you can add in your gold card. And then I'm pretty sure, even if you didn't come to this page and you just wanted to do this, if you added in your gold card, you'll also see your rewards and be able to pay with rewards through the app or something. I don't 100% know that, but I feel like I've seen that option before. So anyways, you can see the options they have, and in fact, if you go straight visit Best Buy, see what happens here. So I'm already logged in. So again, it's how it works. They're telling you just enter in your card during checkout, and you'll see your points balance. So I don't think you have to go this route, but that's that one. Again, not the best redemption. Now gift cards, we get a little bit better here because you have 10,000 points is up to $100. So again, that up to is going to come into play. So you have all the major options. So if you wanted to, view the gift cards, see what kind of selection you're getting, let this load in for a minute. And so once that loads in, again, you can see we have the majors here. So let's just say you wanted to do Apple. You can go digital card, and then again, you can see the points valuation. So $10 should be 1,000 points, not 1,176. So for this, we just picked one at random. You can still usually, you're not exactly guaranteed, 1 cent per point. So still, not the best valuation. You're getting better, back to even, if you will. But ideally, these two are gonna, well, let's knock out shopping first, and then we'll come back to these two, because these two are gonna be the star of the show. So if you wanted to shop with points, again, this one, 10,000 points is going to equal $50. So they have a lot of cool stuff. Like there's an Xbox, looks like a Series X or Series S controller, Apple Pencil and whatnot. But this is basically, I think it'll take you to a shopping portal, so you can land on the shopping portal, and then you can just go through and see all the cool stuff that you could buy with them. But again, it's not going to be that good. They tell you points estimate and dollar estimate. So again, I do applaud Amex to some degree, because they're not hiding it. It's not, you don't have to do any guesswork to figure out what you're getting. You can just see that they're just terrible valuations. If you were going to do this, you'd be much better off buying this on a card, getting the points, and using it for something else. So we don't need to spend a ton of time there. The star of the show is going to be these two, travel, because MR cards are known for travel. Now again, you can see right here, 10,000 points up to $100, and I can tell you that I did book, I'll link it down below, but I was using the Amex Platinum Hotel credit through Amex Travel. I did use points because I just didn't really want to pay cash, and it was not a good valuation. I think it was 0.6, 0.7, something like that. Not great. So again, not guaranteed. This up to does matter. Now, you can do flights, hotels, flight and hotel cars, and cruises. So really all you'd have to do is go in here, plug in where you want to go, and then it will spit you out some options. I do go through this more in depth in that video, so I'll link it down below. But if you wanted to go through here, so if I just start plugging in some information in here, I'm gonna go from Atlanta to Detroit. I don't know, it was kind of already in there, and just kind of, a few days done. You can search that. I probably shouldn't have done this because it's gonna take a long time to load, but hopefully we'll get lucky. And so here we go. Once this loads in, then we can see all of our options. We can filter by airlines if we wanted to. All that good stuff. So again, you can see with the round trip price, they have the points here as well. So you can do the math, which is pretty good. Again, they don't hide. You do a little bit more math here than you do in the others to see what kind of valuation you're getting. But I'll link you something down below if you want to know how to calculate the value of points. But again, it's the same as hotels and everything. And then if you booked a flight before at all, this basically defaults to booking a flight like you would on Delta or American just through Amex's travel portal. So there you go. There's that one. So now we come back over to the last one here. This is going to be transfer points. So transfer points is probably going to be your sweet spot. Now it does vary by partner. So most partners, we'll take a look, are 1-to-1, which one MR point is going to equal one Bonvoy point like you see right here. Or sometimes they run promotions where you're actually getting a little bit better, 1-to-1.2. So if you can go over here, open this up in another tab. Let this load in. All right, so here we go. Here's transfer points. Now, this black bar is because these are the offers that I have, or these are the accounts that I have linked, and it shows the rewards numbers. But you can go through here and you can see, it's going to tell you Air Club 1,000 to 1,000 or 1-to-1 basically. So you can see, which again I appreciate. You can also see that at the time of recording, Hilton's running an offer. So I do want to show you something, the difference between transferring to airlines and transferring to hotels. So I'm going to click transfer points for Delta. And so once this loads in, it's important to note here that I had 81,000 miles. You can only do them in increments of 1,000. So even though I have almost 82, I can't do it. Now the thing I want to show you is this. So we plugged in the 81. It's this. This is what they call an excess tax offset fee, which is a total, it's rip-off in my opinion. So every time you transfer points into a U.S. airline frequent flyer program, your linked card account will be charged an excess tax fee telling you how much it is with a maximum of $99. So they charge this fee to offset the federal excess tax we must pay when you transfer points. They may offer you the option to use points to cover this if you wanted to. So that is not insignificant. It's almost $50 to transfer your points, which is not great. So again, I just wanted to call it out. That's when transferring airlines. I don't know that other card companies do that. I think it's just Amex. So keep me honest there. So anyways, if we back up now and we go to Hilton, right? So I want to transfer points over to Hilton. It loads in, I come down here, I type in the same 81,000 points, and then all of a sudden, it tells me how many points I'm going to get for Hilton, and then you can see there's no tax though. There's no crazy tax. So I tend to prefer to transfer to hotels and avoid that extra $50 hit. Obviously you'll do fine either way, but to kind of close this one out, when you're talking about these options, again, these two here are going to be your sweet spot. Probably more so just transferring points. You could find a deal if you put in the work for booking or upgrading travel, but really transfer partners is probably going to be the way to go. But overall, wasn't too bad, so now let's flip it back around and close this one out. And so there we have it, guys. That was American Express's site. Now, overall, I don't know if the site's just slow for me or what, but if you can get past that, I do think the site's pretty easy to use. Again, I said it before, but I do appreciate that even though they're giving you terrible valuations, they're not trying to hide it, and you can see what you're getting per point. Again, the star of the show is going to be those transfer partners. And you saw some transfer deals in there at the time as well between, I think, Hawaiian and Hilton had one in the example we ran through. So, if you can get one of those, even better. But just remember that, there is always a risk of sending your points to a destination before you're ready to use them. Especially in the time of taping this, we have seen a lot of programs go through, adjust and devalue things. So it may not be the best practice. But overall, it's pretty straightforward. So my parting shot here would just be, again, if you're going to get membership reward point cards, I would really, really avoid the paying for charges, the gift cards, and things like that. You're taking such a haircut, and it really does matter because the cards that are in MR points are also the most expensive cards. All the way up to $700 in the platinum. And how many points you earn can definitely, and how you redeem them, I should say, should definitely play a part into your keep or cancel decision, right? So if you're effectively getting 0.6 cents a point for all your 4x you're earning on your gold card, well, that's going to make it harder to keep and justify the card versus if you're transferring them out, getting the full 1 cent or 2 cents per point, which is very doable. If you're timing it right, depending on how you're booking, that does play a part in your keep or cancel decision. So again, that's how I would play MR points. If you don't like that, then of course they have plenty of good cashback cards as well, and a lot better cashback cards from other issuers even. So anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this one though. If you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Of course, right back here every Sunday Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. My question for you guys is let me know what you think of Amex's site. What's your best way, best use case to redeem membership reward points, or what's some of the ways you make sure you're getting maximum value? I'd love to hear your thoughts about that. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.